Mr. Chairman, Congress enacted the Unfunded Mandates Reform Act to, quote, curb the practice of imposing unfunded federal mandates on states and local governments, end quote. 20 years later, we continue to see burdensome unfunded mandates being imposed on state, local, and tribal governments, as well as small businesses. Despite high hopes, UMRA, as it's often referred to, had little effect on agency rulemaking because of its limited coverage and its lack of accountability. In response, H.R. 50 proposes several key reforms to bring needed transparency to how government sets rules that protect our health, our safety, our welfare, as well as the environment.
The committee will be in order. The committee will be in order. Please remove your conversations from the House floor. The gentleman from Utah is recognized.
The legislation does this in several ways, Mr. Chairman. H.R. 50 requires agencies to consult with the private sector when directly impacted by a proposed rule. Consult with the private sector. That's a great theme. I love the title of this. It does actually provide more information, more transparency, and engages those people that are affected by these rules. Requiring agency rulemakers to consult with small business owners will bring needed perspective and common sense to how our rules are made. Small businesses want government to fully understand how regulations impact their ability to create jobs and promote economic growth. Of course we need rules. Of course there are going to be boundaries. But consulting with the private sector is something that has to happen. And government needs their perspective. The bill makes independent agencies subject to the Unfunded Mandates Reform Act, also known as UMRA. There are hundreds of federal independent agencies charged with handling responsibilities such as managing workplace safety and protecting our forests. It is important these entities are accountable to the public when establishing a new rule. H.R. 50 ensures that that will happen. H.R. 50 requires an UMRA analysis for all final rules. Under current law, an agency can forego an UMRA analysis by avoiding a notice of proposed rulemaking. GAO reports that 35% of major rules are issued without a notice of proposed rulemaking, making it difficult for the public to comment. In fiscal year 2014, the administration estimated the annual cost of major regulations between $57 and $84 billion. We must have a better understanding of those costs before passing them on to state, local, and tribal governments, as well as the public sector, or the private sector. The bill strengthens congressional oversight by requiring agencies to look back at specific regulations when requested by Congress. Before a rule is tested, it's difficult to understand its consequences, including its costs and its benefits. President Obama supported retrospective reviews of regulations by issuing an executive order requiring agencies to periodically review significant regulations in Executive Order 13563 in January 2011. These retrospective reviews result in regulations that are more effective and less burdensome in achieving their objective. Retrospective analysis can and should inform future rules. H.R. 50 allows judicial review when agencies fail to fully consider the least costly or least burdensome alternative rule. The bill allows the judicial branch to place a stay on rules when agencies fail to complete the required UMRA analysis. This provides an important check on the executive branch, and H.R. 50 codifies the Congressional Budget Office practice of estimating the true cost of a federal mandate. When a federal mandate is proposed, CBO ensures its cost estimates include lost profits, costs passed on to consumers, and behavioral changes as a result of a federal mandate. When enacted, UMRA created an important step to inform Congress of the potential burdens of regulatory mandates on both governments and the private sector. This way, Congress could weigh any potential benefits as well as any potential burdens. By updating this law, we can help ensure that all parties, from government entities to small businesses, understand the true costs of prospective mandates. I commend Dr. Fox from North Carolina. She's poured her heart and soul into this. She believes passionately in this. Her leadership on this bill has brought it to this point today, and when successfully passed in the House with bipartisan support, it has passed 3 times with bipartisan support in this House. But it is necessary to bring it up again and to share this with the new Senate that is now in place. So I would encourage my colleagues to support H.R. 50. It is good, it is common sense, it is good for this nation, it enjoys bipartisan support. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to reserve the balance of my time.